we go on quite the roller coaster ride because the next team up is Purdue,
Yeah.
who is one of the worst teams in the conference. They went 1-11 last year, which was the worst record out of all Power 4 teams. And they bring in head coach from UNLV, Barry Odom, to try and right the ship. We're very familiar with him because we all root for SEC teams. He was at Missouri for a while. Needless to say, though, he's got quite the task in front of him because they were bad last year. And then, Sanders, you want to run through kind of what you have of how their best players left from an already bad team?
Yeah, so they were bad last year. They went 1-11, but they weren't. They had some talent on the roster, and now they do not. That talent has left for greener pastures. Tight end Max Clare, like we mentioned earlier, transferred to Ohio State. They had a defensive end who transferred to Clemson, Will Helt. We just talked about safety, Dylan Theinman, who transferred to Oregon, and they have a defensive lineman who transferred to Texas and Cole Brevard. So it's really just like the cabinets were emptied or whatever, the coffers were emptied.
You called them the Stanford of the Big Ten earlier.
I did call them. I have called them the Stanford of the Big Ten.
And actually, no, I did. Because you called Rutgers the Stanford of the Big Ten.
Yes.
And then I said, no, Purdue is the Stanford of the Big Ten.
And then I said, no, Purdue is worse than that.
Correct.
It's Purdue. It's going to be another rough season. They have an out-of-conference game against Notre Dame, which...
Winnable. Winnable.
Yep. Okay. It's going to be another tough season. They're projected to start 13 transfers. They have 0 players inside the PFF top 200 as of now, which is not surprising. They've got a QB battle going on. It's just...
Bro, no one knows. You see what I got there? That's crazy.
You have 4 guys on the list. You want to walk us through the 4 guys?
Yeah, Ryan Brown, Bennett Meredith, Evans Chuba, or Malachi Singleton will be the starter for this team. No one really knows yet. JP, do you have a lean, or are you just kind of as lost as us?
This is the one school I avoided watching any quarterback film for, so I got 0 lean.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I saw they had 4 QBs in the battle, and I was like, I'm not going through all of that because also they're going to be bad. I don't think it really matters who they start. They did bring in a couple transfers. Nitro Tuggle, a wide receiver from Georgia. You may know his name because he got caught, like all the other Georgia players, driving way too fast in his car. Devin Mockabee is the running back that's been there for a couple years. He had 678 yards and 4 tutties last year. Tony Grimes, Aggie legend, is transferring with his coach from UNLV at cornerback, and they bring in TJ Lindsey, a young defensive tackle from Auburn. He didn't play much last year, but he's young, so maybe he can be good. It's tough, man. I have written in the notes, get excited for basketball season, Boilermakers. You at least Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer and Kaufman Wren, they're all going to be back. That starts in, 3 months?
Something like that, yeah. November.
Just get ready for that because I'll end it with this. You're 132nd out of 134 teams in the country in opponent points allowed at 43.5 last season. And then you were the worst team in the country in points scored at 12.7 last season. You lost all your best players. You don't really bring in a ton of talent. You had the worst recruiting class in the Big Ten last season. And your transfer class was 15th out of 18th in the Big Ten. You brought in 70 new players, and none of them are 4 stars. Things are not going to get better. Get ready for basketball season. The over-under's 3.5. Brother.
I'm hammering the under.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
I'm looking at it.
Because Notre Dame, you don't get 3 easy out of conference games.
No, not at all. You don't get... Yeah, no. I don't know if I see 2 wins on this schedule.
Do you think they'll go 1-11 again?
I'm not sure how good Ball State's going to be. I think Southern Illinois is an FCS opponent, so hopefully they can win that game.
I can speak on the Ball State. Ball State has the 3rd worst odds to win the MAC.
Okay.
At plus 5,000.
So please don't lose that game, Purdue.
The spread for the opening game is only 17.5 points.
Yeah. I mean, the under is free. I really would love to predict this team to go 1-11, but was there one win last year, an FCS opponent? Do we know?
Yes, I believe so. I don't think they beat an FBS team last year. They won their first game of the season against an FCS school. I wish I could remember the name, but it's bad. I'm gonna take the under.
I'm pulling up their schedule from last year because now
cool.
I want to know. Yes, they beat Indiana State 49-0. And then let's see what their out of conference games were. Notre Dame and Oregon State.
That's tough. I mean, that is tough.
So
They didn't
I
have
think
other
Oregon
options.
State is better than Ball State. So I think
How many times did they score single digits last year?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They scored 0, 1, 2, 3 times.
Man.
It was tough.
Give me the under. I think Malachi Singleton's going to start at QB, though.
Yeah, I will not be predicting 1 win, but I will be predicting 2 wins. I see 2 wins in the schedule, and that is the first 2 games of the season. Purdue ranked in the top 25 after the first 2 weeks, going into week 3.
I will not be doing that personally.
They'll be 2-0, undefeated.